The views, opinions, and wild ramblings expressed on this podcast are strictly those of our hosts and do not reflect the thoughts, values, or overly serious policies of their employers, sponsors, advertisers, or anyone with a legal team. All scenarios we discuss are based on past experiences, most of which we barely survived, and have nothing to do with any of our current jobs or employers. Basically, don't sue us. We're just here for the laughs, not the lawsuits.
Welcome to the Four Friends Trying to Figure Out HR, the podcast where we blend workplace drama, HR nightmares, and a way too much oversharing into one wildly inappropriate package.
Your hosts, they're a real dream team. First, we have Mama Mel, the HR queen with a knack for keeping it real and breaking the rules when nobody's looking.
Heavy on the no one's looking.
Next, we have Dr. Green, the one with all the fancy-ass degrees and the questionable sense of humor.
E equals MC squared.
Such a nerd. I'm the Big Llama. I come for the big laughs, the bigger opinions, and absolutely zero filter, because I don't even know what that word means. And last but not least, we've got Jake from HR. He's not wearing any khakis, and it's questionable if he's even wearing pants, but he is here to ensure that we're breaking HR guidelines just for fun.
I'm always here to judge.
So buckle up, grab your handbook, maybe a cocktail, and join us as we figure out HR one awkward scenario at a time.
All right, welcome everyone to Just Four Friends Trying to Figure Out HR, where today's episode is about the stories that you hear from I'm going on PTO to I'm sick or my aunt died, so I have to go on bereavement. Now, of course, the latter's not very funny, so y'all know that part, but the funny stories that we hear when their aunt really didn't die. So we got some crazy things. I want to kind of hear from you guys what you think has been one of the crazy stories that you've heard. What have you guys heard that was like you got caught moment, and it was an awful excuse for an answer?
I have stories, but go ahead, Jake.
Can we start with the most recent? And I don't know if they were on PTO, but I feel like it falls in this category.
Go for it.
Getting caught at a Coldplay concert.
You can't do that while I'm drinking, man.
I mean, they were on personal time, with colleagues.
Forever.
And they were so upset because they didn't know that they're going to be on TV.
Damn kiss cam.
Imagine what their life would have been like if they wouldn't have gotten caught.
That would have been a good night for that guy.
Great night for that guy. And then also the person sitting next to him.
Think about it. How many people, whether it's a PTO request or call out or during lunch hour, and in this case a Coldplay concert, they get caught because they end up on, what is it called, the Megatron?
Oh, the
Jumbotron.
Jumbotron. That's it. Thank you.
No,
yeah.
It's
Jumbotron. It's just another example. If you don't want to get caught, don't go where there's cameras.
Oh, that's a good one. It means don't go outside. Because you're screwed.
Pretty much. Stay off social media. Don't get arrested.
Well, don't take the rest of the segment. Dang it.
Well, no. Listen, that guy. And here's the worst part about that Coldplay story, is he and she, right? Obviously, you're at Coldplay. I don't think anyone would have known anything any better, right? Unless they knew who they were in that venue. Had somebody not been recording it and put it on social media, like that, that's the I think about it. I'm like, not that I condone these guys cheating on their spouses, but you could have got away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids. That sound like a Scooby-Doo villain.
Or if you would have freaked out, though. You freaked out. So which then, boom, people automatically go, who is this person? And then they put it on social media.
Well,
and then
no, it started as, okay, it looks funny. Like, it, like, had they just stayed in position and just wave, the camera guy moves to the next couple, right? And nobody in there thinks that's funny. They wouldn't have posted on social media. But because they ran, put the head down, and did the gestures, like, people were like, "Oh, these guys are so caught," and then they put them on TikTok and all that stuff, and the rest is history.
Yes.
But Jesus,
it's just so sad. But let's talk about the strip club, since there's one near your house, Big Llama.
you swear it's near my house. It's not near my house. It's in my city. It's in my city. I don't associate or frequent this gentleman's establishment.
Nobody said you did. You feeling guilty over there, Big Llama?
Listen, I've never been to Body Talk. I've never been. I'm just gonna say I've never been there.
And I have to ask what the name of it is every time, but he repeats it before I even ask.
Yeah, Body Talk is the name of the establishment. Never been there. Heard stories. There's Google reviews and Yelp reviews, right? You can go check those out. But it's notorious. It's famous, notoriously famous here.
So I will let you know.
Go ahead. He's never been there, but he knows how many restrooms they have.
He does. He knows how many restrooms, how many poles there are in there. So it's just interesting. All this knowledge that he has from a friend, I'm sure. Like I asking for a friend kind of thing, Which, speaking of asking for a friend, I will be in Orlando in October to hang out with Big Llama for the first time since we've been friends. And I will not be going to the Body Talk. Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
So, speaking of the strip club, let's talk about a story where an employee calls in for violent food poisoning. Now, you've all heard of you've heard all the, and some people just get so animated on the other side.
Oh, I hate that. I hate the act.
The act is just ridiculous. I don't care. Look, I don't care. But HR later sees them tagged in the VIP booth, the champagne room, making it rain, looking real healthy. So maybe it was from the food from the Body Talk. You never know. But the crazy stories, the things that you hear, people talking about the just sounds and everything that comes with it. Just, ugh.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, okay, so I know you know how I know you're lying, right? Is you're acting like like if somebody calls, they're not mid throw up calling, right? You're, hi, I just hi, I don't feel like you're not that's not, you're not doing that. You're hanging up the phone, you're taking care of, you're blowing the chunks, and then you're calling back.
That's a good point.
You can have the raspy voice. That happens. The Barry White voice, when you get sick. But come on, man.
Another one is it's a TikTok trend now.
Hello? Hey, yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it in today. I'm actually up at the hospital. Yeah,
they're at the microwave pushing the button on the microwave, making it sound like it's emergency.
I've heard that one. That's really funny. I love that one.
It's like, that beeping noise is really loud in the background. Are you right next to the machine that's normally 6 feet away from the bed?
It sounds really, really it sounds really familiar. It kind of sounds like and then my favorite would have been if it would have ended with beep, 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 beep. And that would have been great, like a real microwave does. Like it's long end. Oh shit, I'm dead.
they can't talk and chew bubblegum at the same time, so them pushing the button, it's not the same amount of seconds between beeps, and it's like,
I might turn on the microwave.
CPR, man. Yeah, you got to be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, listen.
I love it. I love it. Or my favorite is when they're trying to call exit through Teams and they forget to turn their video off.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I'm
See,
not feeling well, and they're fully dressed like they're going out.
I know this isn't related, but I know there was a time like I've always been that person who goes, I am not stupid enough to not mute my mic. You know what I mean? Like we're HR people are pretty conscious about what we say. There are some who are not because we have met them. But there was this time where I'm like, I'm listening to a call and it's about benefits. Of course, it was in a past organization, but I'm listening to this benefits call and I'm going, I already know all this crap. And my boss had come in at the time and he goes, what are you doing? I was like, I'm listening to a stupid ass call. I was like, I'm tired of this shit. I've already heard it 1,000 times. And, and I forgot
Oh,
the call. And all I hear is my other boss go, Chad, put yourself on mute.
it's the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling.
I'm so sorry.
And then he took a PTO the next day.
Yeah.
No, they loved me. So they were like, no. They're like, it's okay. We knew you knew all of it, so it's fine. Like if it had been anybody else, I'd have been like, nuh-uh. You get your ass back over here.
No.
But it's embarrassing.
Oh, listen, I have two stories that I don't want to forget to tell you guys.
Body talking, baby.
One, okay, no body talk stories. So in my early career of HR, I was overseeing a call center, and this guy who was on a advanced PIP, all that stuff. He was on a write up. He was, his next step was to be let go if he called off of work or was sick, anything. This guy was in an advanced level. Well, the reason was obviously he was a young kid and he was going out to party and, he worked a late shift or whatever. And so one night he calls his boss and leaves a message. And he goes, his voicemail comes on and he's like, again, acting. Hey, boss, I'm not feeling that great. I'm going to the ER, I think. I don't know. I just don't feel so good. But I'll come. I should be in by tomorrow. I'll see what I can do. Right. And he forgot to fucking hang up. So the next thing is he's in the car with his buddies and he's like, yo, I'm going to be in so much trouble. Right. And he starts like yelling shit and they all like, yeah, let's go to the club. And then he goes, oh shit. And then hangs up. So here I am, young HR guy. I'm listening. The manager is like, can you listen to this and tell me what the next step is? So I listened to it. I said, why don't you call him back and tell him that he's going to be in so much trouble?
Do it just like that. Just like he did. So much trouble.
and sure enough, he called him back. He's like, hey, man, you forgot to hang up on the voicemail. And he goes, I know. He goes, just turn in your badge tomorrow. That's all he told him. But like, that's the dumbest way to lose your job.
I would have made him sweat it because I'm a punk. At that point, I've been like, hey, how you feeling? Yeah? Okay, well, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Then, like, drop subtle hints for the next few days. Oh, man. I talked to this guy earlier, and he told me he was going to be in so much trouble. Just keep dropping little hints.
Oh, my God.
By the way, you're fired. I would have waited until, like, Friday.
No. You gotta follow up with the next day, and you gotta go with it. I got your message, and you are in so much trouble.
Sure.
But on a serious note, you're fired.
I gotta make them sweat, man. Come on, make them sweat a little bit. I mean, granted, I would never ever do that, but it's just funny in saying it out loud. So
yeah, but that's just terrible. That's like the worst way to lose your job.
What about funeral though? Like a bereavement time, or hey, I got to go to my grandmother's wake, or something.
I feel like that is the most common call out, and I think it's a combination between them taking grandma's funeral to Cabo, where they say that they're flying home to grandma's funeral, but then you see on their social media selfies with them taking shots and out partying, and they're at the club. It's either that or it's the same grandmother that died 6 times in a row, and you're starting to wonder
how many grandmas you got.
Or like, are we talking spiritual death, like a poltergeist? You know, are you reaching out to Teresa Caputo from Long Island? Is she bringing her back again?
The Long Island medium. Oh,
that was really good. That was good.
But you know, how do you broach it? Like that's been my issue with death in the family, right? Is how do I question you of this is your 4th grandmother? Like this because there are divorced grandmothers and grandfathers. I don't know, man. It's like I don't want to be questioning your family, but this is your 4th grandmother who's died. I can't figure this out.
Y'all remember when we were told that we had all rights to ask if we felt something shady was going on? We would have, hey, can you please bring in a pamphlet or not like a trifold? Don't give me a trifold, but give me like a program of, and then the favorite answer I would get is, we didn't waste money on programs or anything like that. Like that costs money. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I understand. Can you get me the newspaper clipping? Oh, we didn't put it in the newspaper.
Oh, the obituary? Yeah.
Can you give me the phone number to the funeral home that you said that you were at? Like, I have to get that dirty with you? Like, come on. And so, but then that's where you kind of go, okay, look, Grandma Susie Q died, like, as Jake would say, 6 times. Susie Q has died several times. Like, come on, man. Was enough?
I think my best response that I ever got was they said they had absolutely no documentation or anything about the death of a parent. And since they didn't have anything, I was like, well, would you mind providing like a copy of the death certificate? I was like, you don't even have to let us keep it. We just need to see it. They're like, oh, well, they haven't issued a death certificate yet because, it was under suspicious circumstances. And I'm like, I was like, have y'all buried her? I was like, did y'all bury her? They're like, no, we cremated her. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Suspicious circumstances there, Sparky.
That's why I'm like, I reversed. And I was like, I don't want to be insensitive, but I do want to back up here because I was like, I've done a lot of investigations in my life. And I said, well, I'm not law enforcement. I am very confident they wouldn't let you cremate someone that's under investigation for a suspicious death. So I said, that's a little concerning to me. And it was already someone that we had been watching for a while and had taken a lot of time off for bereavement. And we finally decided to be very blunt and say, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you can't provide any documentation, we're going to have to let you go. I don't want to be mean, but this has been a habitual issue with you.
There's rude, there's insensitivity, but there's also
stupidity.
Stupidity, exactly. Like HR people, we try to think ahead to the future. We try to be proactive versus reactive, which is what we hear all the time. But there's a reason why when we have meetings and we want to propose something, I remember Jake from HR proposed something, and it took him weeks to propose it. Like, and he went and got everything together, and then he got a few of us together, and we like tore his shit apart so that he could not have any holes in any part of it. I would have a buddy, hey, tear my story apart. Like, just rip me a new one with every hole. That's what you should do before you go. Because any person would, please do not go get your friend who is like low IQ. Please don't get them to come in.
God, yeah.
Please get someone with a little bit of intelligence that can say, so you're saying your suspicious circumstances, why did you cremate them? Like that would be a good friend would ask those questions.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate to say it has to be a good friend that has to ask these questions about your parent dead.
Well,
really.
And I do want to clarify something here, just because it's a very sensitive topic, even though we're talking about it being a terrible call out excuse when it's not true. Very rare do we take a lot of these more extreme actions. It's when it's someone that's notoriously called out for deaths in the family, or those who they volunteer way too much information that's just it's very awkward on why they said certain things, and it just sparks that interest. Like, I can tell you 90% of the time if someone says they had a death in the family, I very rarely ask for documentation. And most
Yeah.
of the time I'll ask, like, I'll volunteer, like, hey, would you mind sharing where the services are going to be held so we can send a card or a flower or something? But that's
Yeah.
more because we care and we want to be sensitive, not because we're verifying and they don't have to provide it. So don't think that this HR segment for this very small piece is insensitive, because we're talking about the ones that the term we use, they're just stupid. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to say the same thing. I think for the ones that have legit, the death in the family, and it happens. Yeah, it's usually those are easy to spot. Like it's they don't have anything in the past, or you've known. Sometimes that somebody's ill or somebody's not doing well, and that they've been taking time off. So like some things are natural progression into, okay, that happened, very sad, and then yes, we try to be sympathetic and go, okay, can we send flowers, or is there people doing a card? But what I want to flip it, and what kind of caught my attention, not that it's part of our spicy discussions about these silly people, but think about this. This is the part that I hate: is legit issue, person is destroyed, right? But the company's policy doesn't cover that relative. That to me sucks.
Oh,
That is the worst discussion. That if we don't have a generous PTO policy or a way to get them off, and they're really stringent, like that's the worst one. Is like, hey, this guy's my uncle, and he was like a father to me, and then you read the policy and it's very clear, like it's
uncles and aunts
mother.
usually apply.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, or again, you thought it was in there. And you go, oh yeah, we should be able to cover that. And you read it, and you go, oh God, no. It's those are tough discussions though as HR, because if you want to be compassionate, you want to give them the time off, figure it out, and then the policy just doesn't allow for it.
So let's go further on this policy thing, because I completely agree with you, and I have had to, yes, so many times I've had to experience, and it's when the PTO policy and then the bereavement policy get very, very weird and complicated, and it doesn't need to be. And so what I mean by complicated is that my wife's brother-in-law's parents are not covered. So my wife's sister's husband, his parents aren't covered. Well, that makes total sense. But some PTO policies have it worded so weirdly that you're like, wait, hold on. And you truly have to think for a good minute to figure out what this means. And then you go and explain it to the employee, and they're like, but that makes no sense. It's my brother-in-law. And it's like, yes, but your wife's brother-in-law is parents are not covered because you're not a part of that person's immediate family. You're extended. Like, you're way over here. So, but like, I've had the unfortunate time to be able to tell somebody, hey, sorry, that's not covered. And the aunts and the uncles and the cousin, like, that's kind of typical though. Your aunts, cousins, and but there were times where I had to add into the policy because they're like, oh, stepchild, stepmom, stepdad. And they include grandparents because everybody, we all have, the grandparents we love and all that good stuff. But they forget to add step grandparents, step grandchild, step grand, mom, step grandfather, etc. You know what I mean? Like, they forget to add those pieces. They'll add the stepchild, stepmother, stepmom, etc. they'll add all those, but they'll forget to add the step grandparents because you do marry, and some of them are still alive, and they're 50 years old instead of being like 80, like they should be. But that's just the way it is.
I've seen it go way too far the other way. I worked for a company that was they were very specific in their policy, like you explained, but they included you allowing to take the same amount of time off for a death of an animal.
Oh, come on. No. Don't tell me about Lucky's goldfish died.
Like, and it did not specify what kind of pet. So if it was a fish, if it was a squirrel, like, don't get me wrong, I have animals, and yeah, I might need to take the day if one of them passed, but I'm not taking 3 to 5 business days off because I need time to mourn. And like, no, I'm an adult. I have kids. I have bills to pay. Yeah, it sucks. I'm not going to come to work smiling and being happy, but I have to be an adult. I have to adult. And it's like, yeah, I've had one of my dogs for over 15 years. So when they pass, yeah, I need to take the day, but I can take a PTO day for that. I mean, bereavement for that. I mean, and it was so terrible because it was written in the policy and we had to honor it. And there were so many people that would abuse it. And it's like, tell me how you verify that death. I need to see a picture. Yes, the 3 days were paid.
Oh,
Hey.
Let me find out where they work.
I would go get it. I honestly would get so fed up with it. And I was in HR. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to get a goldfish and I'm going to murder it every month so I can get 3 days off paid.
I mean, I see what you're saying too, and I agree. It's like, okay, so think about it. Like, people grieve in different ways. Obviously, some pets are like their family. I get that. I get all that. But like, there's like an entire process for family member, like their affairs, the finances, the funeral, families coming in and out of town, even more things to just tie up loose ends, insurance claims. There's all this stuff that comes with someone passing that, yeah, you need those bereavement days, not only to just, mourn the loss, but to also handle some business, family affairs. So the pet part, look, if the company offers it, that's great, but that's another, and this is what pisses me off. Not the pet thing, because like, look, that's a great benefit. Good for you. Yeah. It's the assholes who abuse the situations. It's the jerks who like ruin it for the rest of us. Like, that's what pisses me off. It's not the policy. It's not how we apply it. It's the person who just completely annihilates a policy to the point where it impacts everybody else. And then everybody thinks they're uncaring. The company just doesn't give a shit. It's because we have 20 jerks, using the policy and abusing it like horrendously. And that's the problem.
Don't come after us. Come after those who were the ones who were taking advantage of the organization and the kindness to where it had to be taken away. Honestly, it's not our fault.
There was one particular person I thought about calling PETA or animal control to report them.
Shit.
Because they had an animal die like 4 or 5 times in 1 year. And I'm like, I think you're just murdering your pets. I think you're a psychopath. Like, are you adopting animals to murder them? And like,
so let's scoot further into the land of New Orleans. Or New Orleans, for those New Orleans. That's what we say down around here. But New Orleans.
You're from down and around there. You said it wrong.
But see, I'm so like try to be grammatically correct with my words, and I'll tell you this funny story that my wife still makes fun of me, and y'all will probably laugh too because y'all probably know this. I did not. We were at Walk-Ons. It's a restaurant that we have that has now decided to get like spread out throughout the United States now. But Drew Brees is part owner in this. And if you don't know who Drew Brees is, he used to be a former quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. And so one of the dishes has a sausage. and it was called andouille sausage. Now, me and my smart ass self decided to call it andouille sausage.
You Cajun. You're real Cajun.
I was like, I'll get the one with the andouille sausage in it. And my wife looks at me and goes, the what? I'm like, yeah, the andouille sausage. Andouille. And I was like, sorry.
Let me get a little bit of that crap in there. Andouille.
I think they do that andale sausage in like El Paso.
Oh
So
my Lord.
it got so much worse than that, because then she started asking me questions like, how do you pronounce this place?
Yeah, no.
And I was like, Ponchatoula. It's actually called Pontchartrain. Ponchatoula is not spelled like Pontchartrain. Like, what the hell is wrong with this place? Like, and there's so many of those places down south in Louisiana that it's just French, it's Creole, it's the Cajun way. And I'm sitting here going, Bossier City, and my GPS is over here going, Bossier City. And I'm going, which one is it? Which one is it now? And Emily's like, no, it's Bossier City. You're right. Okay, about time I'm right about something. But anyways, let's get down to the time that you had the person who said they were sick and they were out there lifting their shirts, catching beads at the good old New Orleans Mardi Gras.
Mm. So I have a story where it didn't take place in New Orleans, but they were allegedly sick over the weekend. Had to have 3 consecutive days off, and the company I worked for, that only counted as 1 absent because the days were consecutive. And this is someone that was notorious for doing it. So obviously we couldn't do anything about it. But because of contractual requirements with certain customers, our system automatically ran random background checks on our employees. Well, come to find out, this individual was incarcerated during the time that they were supposed to be in bed, dying sick. They were on their deathbed. I still remember the phone calls that they were coughing up, and they couldn't do it. They can't move. They can't get out of bed. So like 2 weeks later, we're sitting in the office, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I know you were deathly ill earlier. I was like, did you ever find out what you had? No. And then I just scrolled over the piece of paper on the desk. I was like, just out of curiosity, why were you in jail during this time in a different city and state? And
What
they
was
were
the
just
answer?
like, absolutely nothing. He walked out because he already knew the arrest itself was going to be terminal because of certain restrictions within the company. So he already knew it was termination. So why even sit there and have the conversation? He just got up and walked out. He's like, and just walked out. He didn't even say I quit. He just walked out.
Dang.
So, but that was funny.
So they weren't catching beads going, "Do me some beads, mister."
He was doing something illegal. All I know is it involved what was the codes? It was it wasn't driving under the influence. It was driving with influence. And it was
drive faster, honey. Drive faster, damn it.
No, it was driving with influence, which I think was having alcohol in the vehicle.
Oh shit!
And
that's even worse.
And then they had some type of charge. Yeah. Then they had some type of charge with like impeding the arrest or like basically he was causing issues for the officer, and he had like 2 or 3 different charges that came up. That was like a millennial ago, but
what about
memorable?
Like, go ahead.
Oh no, that was my story. I'm done.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking about, and I know we've all had this, and if you've been in employee relations or if you've just been an HR of one, the shit that pisses me off more than anything is, because my wife being what she does, and it makes doctors look like bad people, or like, oh, you're just letting this person off. And then, kind of like when you have a virus and you prescribe antibiotics. That's a big no-no because it's not going to do anything. It's just a placebo effect kind of thing. So it's useless. Well, you get those who go to the doctor and they get a note, and all it really is, you've got a cold. But you were acting like you had the worst case of the flu that was on God's green earth. Now, that's not the worst part. The worst part I get is that you don't even go to the doctor, but you decide to go to your local Google and type in a nice little doctor's note and make it look all pretty and try to turn it in on a picture. And we all know that we're not stupid. We like to go, hey, did so-and-so come into your clinic today? Because we have suspicion of them not actually going to the clinic, but let alone lying. And I know it's I call it a weird line between HIPAA and not. I don't need to know any details. I'm just asking, did they show up to your clinic? I don't need to know anything else. If they did, fine, that's good enough for me. If they didn't, then that's when I get mad. And I go, now you have you tried to disgrace another organization in the medical field, but then you also are trying to call me stupid. So I don't know about y'all, but I've gotten, and especially during COVID, I got doctor's notes that were full of shit. And I would have to say, hey, did you really go to the doctor? Because I know the answer, so I want you to give me the correct answer before I say that you're fired. And they would say, no, I didn't go. All right.
Why are you forging documents?
So then that would be my next words is, okay, thank you for telling the truth, but you're fired for forging medical documentation. See you later. So like that's, I didn't fire you for, lying about going to the doctor's office when you plainly said, I have COVID and you got paid during that time for like, I think at that time it was like 10 days. So they got 10 days of paid vacation.
Oh yeah, and that's right. You tested positive. You had to quarantine.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I remember that.
It was so great because at one point it was like 14 days, and then it became 10, then it became 7, then it became 5. And so
that became just a fever.
Y'all are fine. I don't care if you give it to someone, but like it. And the fortunate thing, I say fortunate, is I've not had COVID. Yes, I did knock on some wood. Make sure I say that I did not have COVID, did not catch COVID. So I didn't get the fortunate time off, which I know some people are like, you're a jerk. It wasn't fortunate. I was dying over here. Yes, I know. I'm insensitive. I'm not the person at the funeral, okay?
Well, I will tell you, the company I worked for, I want to say when they took the restrictions down from like 15 to 10 or whatever the days were, our company passed the policy where you could still use a at-home test.
Oh,
and
God,
Jesus.
At-home
test.
Do y'all remember that?
I'm like, so how do we know they even took it?
That's my thing. You could give me Big Llama's test, and I could take a picture of it and send it to you. Say, look, I got COVID, and that's it. Or good old fashioned Google. Hey, look, I'm positive. But I remember the painful, because at the time I worked in a medical facility, so
the swab.
Oh my God. They lovingly jammed that sucker up you like you were tickling your brain and pull it out. And like the part wasn't just it wasn't going in there. That wasn't the problem. It was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like going, Yeah, you're getting it all over you because you done pissed me off because you did put this damn Q-tip on my nose for what was more like 30 seconds of my life versus the 5 seconds that you counted. So yes, oh god, it was awful.
Those are awful times, especially for PTO and sick time.
PTO and sick time. And America, I'll say we did a pretty good job when it came to trying to take care of the good people who didn't abuse it, who truly got COVID once, twice, and maybe even 3 times. Because I'll tell you, it looks like Jake from HR probably got it like 3 or 4 times. How many times have you had it, Jake?
4 times. Oh my god.
Called it. I never even knew.
In my defense, I worked in retail at the time.
Oh god. Yeah, never mind.
And it was a very busy, very large retail organization. So we all know that there was no sanitizing, there was no disinfectant, there was no 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet social distancing. I don't care what the tape on the floor said.
But it was on aisle 5. Why couldn't you have disinfectant?
And then even though I was in like a market level position, I mean, when COVID first hit, I was one of those highly paid toilet paper protectors every morning in a store, issuing out 1 or 2 packs of toilet paper to customers.
Damn, you were that guy.
They were hoarding that shit.
I was that guy that was having to hand out toilet paper to people because all the stores were rationing out toilet paper. It was big packs were 1 per family. Small little ones were like 2 or 3 per family, depending on what.
But how did you know that they had a family or not? I could have been like, me and my 10 kids need these dang here near 1-ply toilet paper pieces.
Hey, I ordered a bidet.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Oh, come on. Actually, that's pretty smart, but
I'm telling you, I ordered a bidet like the minute these toilet paper people were all going crazy. I went on Amazon, got me a $10 bidet. I said, okay, the second I run out of toilet paper, I'm good.
But see, I'm the guy that already had a stock of, and I will tell you now. So if you judge me, I don't give a crap.
I'm judging hard because you were an asshole.
I was the big old 30-pack of purple cottonelle. It's not Charmin. I don't give a crap about the bear's butthole. I care about having where it's nice and comfy to wipe my butthole. Okay, so I got the cottonelle purple, and my wife told me when she married me, she's like, we don't with none of this like Amazon Basics toilet paper. We don't mess with none of that Charmin junk or the what's the other one with the roses on it? Dadgummit. But anyways, she's like, I don't mess with that 1-ply. We only playing with that 3-ply over here. And so she's like, I don't care how poor we ever get in our lives. She goes, we will always have cottonelle in this house.
Listen, hold on. You disparage the name of Amazon Basics. Jeff Bezos, we love Amazon.
Yes, we do.
Love a sponsorship. And Amazon Basics is amazing.
Yes.
Don't listen to Dr. Green, Mr.
Especially since when that happened, I actually ordered a 30-pack. Right when I heard that happen, I went straight to my phone and ordered a 30-pack of cottonelle purple from Amazon. So, that's where it happened.
As much as I spend on Amazon, we should get a sponsorship because I spend what some people's salaries are on Amazon.
Oh, amen to that. Because let me tell you, at one point, Emily said, I'm starting trying to figure out what you're getting from this place. And I'm like, oh yeah. I was getting bad. Cases of water were cheaper to be ordered and delivered from Amazon than from the store. I saved like $2 or $3. And I'm like, hell yeah. 30 bottles of water were $1.25. Heck yeah, give it on over. But that's
yeah. I was so bad I was having to pay to have people pick up all my boxes. I'm going to show you a picture. And this wasn't even all my boxes. This was only about half of them.
Oh my God.
Can I ask When did your husband want to choke you?
We have this like, you know how like in a relationship, everything's 50-50 on decisions.
Sure.
When you're the one that buys everything for the house, that's not really the case.
Oh,
because they don't know what's a personal Amazon or what's like for the house.
you sneaky
Yes.
little man, you.
So,
See,
but in my defense, 90% of the stuff I buy is not for me personally. It's for the house. It's for the kids. It's for the family. Because I did get addicted. I will tell you, when we adopted our kids that first year, it was in 2020 when COVID hit too. We spent over $17,000 on Amazon.
Oh, I believe it. I believe
well,
it.
God,
And
yeah,
like,
that would make sense, dude.
it was like within 60 days. Like, I didn't even realize how much money we had spent until I went back and pulled my history and put it in Excel and did an auto sum, and I was like, we could have bought a car.
We could have bought a used car for that much.
But
good old Lord.
anyways,
Amazon.
We'll segue into our next topic, and I know you kind of were going a different way with this, but I have a story that fits a little bit better with it, and I know you titled it "Wedding Vows and PTO Lies," but I had a situation where a gentleman submitted PTO. He was supposed to be going on a family vacation, right? We're like 3 days into his PTO, and his wife comes into the office to drop off some stuff for him. And I'm like,
oh,
I was like, are y'all back from vacation? She goes, what vacation? I'm like, he's on PTO. He said he went on vacation.
He went on vacation with the other family.
He had told his wife that he had to go on a work trip out of town.
No.
And she came up to drop some things off because he was supposed to be at the office apparently the next day. And I'm like, he's not working for us this week. I can't tell you what he's doing. That's not my business. But I'm like, he's not getting paid by us this week other than the PTO he submitted.
God, so, that's crazy.
I'm like, it was a whole nother level. You just weren't lying to your company. You were lying to your wife. And I'm like, and I didn't even feel bad about busting him out.
Oh, you were a jerk, man. You busted a bro out. Oh.
I mean, I don't think you did it on purpose.
No, not on purpose. But yeah, I would ask questions.
Hey,
like, wait.
I would never intentionally try to get someone in trouble. I'm not going to lie to someone's face if I don't have a fiduciary obligation to do so. But two, I didn't initially bust him out intentionally. I was like, he's on PTO. Are y'all back from vacation? That's not my fault. You lied to me and made me think you were on vacation with your wife.
Right. Jesus Christ.
So out of curiosity, because I'm just a nosy ass person, I want to know, did we ever find out like what really happened?
I never found out the details, but I do know that they were no longer together a few weeks after that. So, yes. And I know he was very, very unhappy with me. He never confronted me, but I did get some very dirty looks across the floor.
And I would give you a very dirty one right back and be like,
I'm like, look, don't get mad at me because you decided to go the cheap way out and not get caught on a Coldplay concert and do it big.
Oh God, shame on you! You could have spent $50,000 at the Coldplay concert and got a good seat. So
listen,
go ahead.
As I say,
Big Llama.
So shifting gears, this is when your PTO lie gets you into trouble and like you sink deeper and deeper, like you just keep digging. So I had this guy, Texas guy, because we were covering the Texas area, called off sick, and he again advanced level of sickness. So he says, hey, I don't feel well, whatever. It's Sunday. It's a Sunday. I don't feel well. Dallas is playing at home. The Eagles. So I'm telling you, you're gonna know this guy. So there was this viral video that was caught of the guy punching out the like the opposing player, like the Eagles fan in the stands,
Oh God.
and then he got knocked out and arrested. So I mean, it's a violent video. It's all over social media. We're looking into like where was he at for 3 days, because he didn't show up to work, so he called off that Sunday, and he wasn't there Monday and Tuesday. So in our investigation, we found him in that viral video. He was the guy who punched out the other guy, and then he got knocked the fuck out and dragged by the police. So he got arrested. And so where it gets dug deeper is he called and said, "Oh, I still wasn't feeling well," even though he was arrested and he should have reported the arrest. So this guy got caught in a live viral video, and then he tried to lie again, and then we had the proof. We're like, this is you. You clearly were arrested.
Did you not know? Were you knocked out at that time?
I mean, he had a major headache, but no. I mean, but those are the like, that's one of the fun types of investigations, or HR stories, is like everybody's talking about it. Like we literally had people coming in the office, like other HR people, and be like, yo, you got to watch this video. You got to see this guy. Look, here's where he gets knocked the fuck out. Look right here. Watch this. Bang. He's done. Police drag him. And they're like, who is that guy? And they're like, oh, that's our guy. He works for us. I'm like, oh shit. But anyway, needless to say, that guy, that was the most expensive weekend of his life. He spent time in jail, and then he lost his job. So crazy.
It reminds me of your story of the stabbing the balloon. It's like one of those things that like your office just went and erupted about.
Oh God, yeah.
I stabbed that balloon. Yeah. If you haven't heard that, go back to the episodes. One of the first few episodes we had where we talked about stabbing a balloon.
Listen, I had the best stories because I honestly, I shared with everyone my stories, but I was also the one that got this shitty, dangerous assignment. So like they would send me in possible gun on site, gun in the car, arrest violations. Like I got all of them. And so I welcomed it. It was fun. It was like, CSI, but yeah. It was, and my narratives were amazing. So like the attorneys and stuff, that when they reviewed my stuff, they would just love it. It'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe you got to do that case. So
no. I still hate investigations. And I hate them to this day.
No, if I could do them, I'd do them again.
Now, if they're fun like that, yeah, absolutely. But mine are not that fun. It's usually me having to sift through. He said this. She said that. Okay, this wasn't true. Now let me go interview this other person, because I felt like 2 people were not enough. So I needed to hear from 6 other people the same shit that I was going to hear anyways. But I was like, yeah. So,
three is the magic number.
3 is always the magic number for interviews and people on the panel, everything. But let's talk about the time where you've had an employee. I'm recovering from surgery. I had my appendix out, whatever it is. But then, the boss needs to have a quick chat with them. So they call them on Teams. Boom. They have to answer because the boss is calling, and they're calling on video. So you really have no choice. You can either not answer it and be like, hey, you were just talking to me. What's going on? And try to hurry up and figure out a background and then call him back. Or you could be like this moron where he was literally hanging out at a beach bar in a cabana, and all you hear in the background is last call for margaritas. You could be that guy.
Tropical music playing in the background.
Right. Like, what was it? Kokomo's playing in the background.
I don't, you know what? I've had numerous situations like that where they got caught because of the background noise or someone that doesn't know how to keep their mouth shut. But to this day, I still don't understand why people can't be smarter than the average fly.
Go somewhere else.
Don't even call them back. Don't even answer. You're sick. You're unavailable. What are they going to do? Get mad at you because you can pick your phone up?
You just had surgery. Why would you answer the phone?
I'm
knocked out, motherfucker.
Yeah. Even if you don't pick up, the most they're going to do is be irritated you didn't pick up. There's less risk associated with not picking up because if you pick up, you have all these uncontrollable factors to include, to include like dogs in the background barking, noises of being at the park, sounds of the ocean if you're at the beach, last call if you're at the bar, or God forbid, all you hear is, "Oh, hey, baby, come back to bed." And it's like,
hold on, who that? I know I just saw your wife 5 minutes ago. Who's that?
I was like, I thought you were still in bed sick. Let me let you go so you can get back to bed. It's like, I'm not touching that one.
No, but then my funniest one is, I would love to hear this one day. So if anybody who's going to be my future employee, please do this to me because it would be so hilarious. When you hear soft kitty, warm kitty, little butler, oh, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr.
What in the white melanin fucking raisins and the potato salad shit was that?
Apparently, me and Jace.
That is not a white person thing. That is a Big Bang Theory thing.
Yes,
and
that's
a white person thing.
Like that is the song that Sheldon sang, or his mom sings to Sheldon
to him when he's sick.
And then Penny sang it for him in Big Bang Theory.
And it's so cute. It's so cute. But so I'm waiting for the day where I hear in the background, soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. That was good. So, okay. We'll get near, because I know we're getting near to our time. So let's talk about the Vegas people. The Vegas people. Okay. Let's imagine that Big Llama and Jake from HR, they're in a secret romance. And they both take PTO off at the same time. It's kind of interesting how it's like the same exact day. And they're going, I'm going out of town. Okay, great. Cool. For my grandmother's funeral. We'll go back to the grandma's funeral. And then, boom. Somehow, they decided that they were going to get the same matching tattoos. Because there's a secret love, romance of brewing. But they end up in Vegas. And of course, you know how every time you're anywhere in Vegas, it's ding, 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 ding. Or,
oh, yeah.
You know, or the ding, ding, ding.
A whole episode of noises from Vegas from Dr. Green.
You're welcome to clip them and put them in your background of your Vegas videos. It's so fucking good.
It's only because I've recently been there. It's what I know. But the only secret romance I had was with my wife. So, and we went to see the Backstreet Boys, so I ain't complaining because the Sphere and the Backstreet Boys, that was a legit concert. I will never, ever. I want to go back, but she told me no. So, anyways, but the Vegas part is that you got caught in Vegas because maybe your boss just happened to stroll down the strip that you were going on and saw you two getting the same matching tattoo. And like, hey, I thought you were going to your grandma's funeral. I mean, how many times have you heard a Vegas story? I've heard a Vegas story so many times.
I have too, but can I tell you that the Vegas story actually happened to me, not in Vegas, but I had a planned PTO day, a half day. I took my PTO. I was meeting. I was taking my kids to this place called Boomers.
Oh, Boomers, not Body Talk.
Place called Boomers. It's got go-karts and all this other stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah, and so I had a planned day, and so I went, saw my kids there, took my kids there, and then this lady who called in sick, again, and a sick abuser who had over 100 something hours of sick time is there as well, and she worked for me, or like a division down, and so I knew her name and I knew who she was. So here I am, not looking for anyone, and I'm on the food line, and I look over, and here is Sickly, who had called in, that she was, like very gravely ill, having a grand time with her kids at Boomers. I said, oh, and like it was weird because I wasn't looking for her. She looked at me, and I looked at her, and then instantly, like it all snapped together. Like we probably had like a whole long conversation within 10 seconds. It was like,
Shit,
I was
I
like,
get it
oh
now.
shit, I see you. And she's like, oh fuck, I'm done. And I was like, nah, you are done. And she looked back at me, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. And then I forgot her name, and I was like, then I called her direct supervisor. I was like, hey, is Joan there today? Because she called in sick. Oh yeah, she's really, really sick. I said, well, the fuck she is. She's right here. She's sitting right here. You may want to call her and ask her what's going on, why she had Boomers. So I left it at that, and I walked away. But the whole time she was eyeballing me the whole time when I was in there. But yeah,
Why is it that you tell the stories of where people are giving you like shitty eye looks because of something you did? I'm just saying, man. Like they're like you and Jake are like getting this like I'm gonna kill you look. Like you just screwed me over.
Yeah.
And I'm over here going, ha, pointing because I'm the one that's I delivered the news.
Don't blame Coldplay because you got caught. Coldplay didn't make you do it.
Exactly.
Coldplay was just there to orchestrate the whole.
But I do want to point something out, because there's going to be that one listener, like there always is, that one employee that's like, well, that's their PTO. Why does it matter? I'm like, it's not the fact that they want to take time off work to do stupid things.
Yeah, we don't care.
Don't lie about it, because it's not that you're using. I mean, technically, if you call out sick with most companies, because there are exceptions to some policies and procedures, most companies, if you call out sick, even if you are caught not actually being sick, there's no repercussions. No. It's not about that. It's about the integrity. It's about,
yes,
we can't trust you now because you're lying. We as individuals, we as managers, we as a company don't want to work or employ people that we can't trust, regardless. Like if you don't want to come to work, call me. Hey, I made a really bad decision. I got pissed shit-faced last night, and I am still hungover. I cannot come into work because I would not be safe. I would not have, everyone around me would not be safe because I operate heavy machinery. Be honest, be open. Is it going to give you the biggest optimistic, like, we love you, you're the best employee in the world? No. But I'll have more respect for you than I will for probably 50% of the people in the company. Because at least you're being honest with me. You come to work 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you do your job to satisfaction. That's all I care about. I don't care about those onesies and twosies that you take off once in a blue moon. Just don't be habitual with it. That's point. My word today. That's my word today. Habitual.
So I will end with this one just because this is my wife's field of work, and I just think it's just outlandish that people do this, and they are taking on PTO for the birth of their child. Now, when you hear what's the first thing that runs through your mind when you hear childbirth or you hear pregnancy, that they're about to give birth to a child? What pops in your head law-wise?
FMLA, if they qualify.
Yeah, or the PWFA, if there's something. Yeah.
PWFA or FMLA. So for those two, I still think PWFA is so funny to say. But in this world, if you have any type of intelligence and if you qualify FEMLA, if you qualify PWFA, and which, from my knowledge, everybody would qualify from PWFA if you actually are having a baby. Now,
Yeah.
it's the amazing recovery time of I just had a baby 2 weeks ago. And so they come back and it's like they've lost no weight, or they've never.
No.
Hey, let me add your. Oh, hey, let me add your new baby to the benefits list. I see you have benefits with us. Do you want to add them? Because it's probably a good idea to cover them. You're going to run out of choices here before we finally figure out that you did not have a baby. And
God, that's horrific.
It is horrific. And then it's even worse when you find out that they only use that excuse so they can go to a Burning Man concert.
Could you imagine a week after they gave birth, their water breaks at work? Oh no, that's not my water. I just peed.
No.
I need to go home. I need to go home and change. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Listen. I'm not like super spiritual, like like anything, but I do believe in like putting out good energy, right, and karma and shit. You fucking killed off your relatives with your time off. You have a fake baby. Like you're just asking the world to fuck you over with some karma, because like you can't do that. You cannot do that. I mean, I think this stems from my parents, right? Like yelling at me when I would grab my my cousins or uncles, crutches or their wheelchair and try to play like, you use that, it's gonna come back to you, and it stuck with me. But like I don't it's stupid, it's superstitious, but
no, I was imagining you grabbing someone's crutches and trying to get around,
and then then they fall over. But no, no, but like that to me is like a new level of low. Like you cannot be like, oh, I had a baby, right? Or fake something real serious like that. And I don't know. I don't feel right about it. It's not my call. It's your business. Your business, what you do. But it does bother me tremendously that people do that.
And honestly, look, I'm right there with you. It does come back in some shape or form. Bad juju of some sort, whether it's minute, but it may be major to you, that you come to find out, that we discover, and that may be your only punishment, I call it, by karma. We'll just use karma, for example. But that may be the only thing, is that you lose your job. And then you learn your lesson, you don't do it again. Fantastic. I'm glad you learned, you moved on, and you don't do that crap again. But it's the ones who continuously, like, they go to the next job and they do the same thing. And the biggest thing for me is, most of the time, this shit's not paid.
I know.
No, it's not.
So, like, why would you go? And, like, I've never understood that. Like, you complain, I can't pay my bills, I can't do this. And I'm going, oh, well, you showed up to work and stop coming up with some BS excuses. Because we all know it's BS.
Yeah. But
they're over there going, I only make $50 an hour, but you're only here because you're only here half the time, so you're only making $25 an hour. So I'm so sorry that you're making $52,000 a year because you decide that you don't want to be here half the time, and you make up these excuses they don't pay that. Like it's so dumb. And then suck it up, Cupcake.
I do want to bring up something before we get to the end of this conversation, though. I got to. Hold on, let me look it up real quick, because that has everything to do with the PTO category.
It's funny whenever he's going to Google something.
Yeah.
Well, because it's a recent case that's out there, or at least it's been recently been thrown in the news.
Oh God!
Actually, no. August 7th, 2025. Woman sues company after collecting salary for 20 years and not working a day.
Oh my God!
Wait. Okay,
that's
hold
a
on.
Payroll error.
Back this up. Let me hear about this again.
So she was and I don't know the story, but if I remember what I heard correctly, I believe she was let go or she was no longer supposed to be employed with the company. And no one ever told her. So she was coming into work every day and just getting coffee. That's all she was doing. And then going home every single day, Monday through Friday, for 20 years until someone finally realized, who's this lady on our payroll? So they finally terminated her. And she's suing them because she has been accustomed. She has reported to work, got her coffee, and went home every single day. She's accustomed to not working, and now they have fired her, and she is distressed, and she is suing them. Look it up; it is in the news.
But let's get this right, okay? You should have, okay. If you were any type of intelligence, if I'm gonna keep getting paid, I'm gonna start paying in that 401k. Like I'm gonna max that shit out, and I'm gonna go get another job, and so that I can be accustomed to two retirements for 20 years. So, like, come on, like you screwed yourself when you realized, at least for a year, that you were getting paid to do this, and you knew this was still happening. I would have set up 401k. I would have made sure that my new job, I would have had another 401k. I would have been killing it. But no, instead, that's wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just y'all
No, you're good. I love it. I'm gonna look it up later.
It's hilarious.
Let's go around the as the big llama would like to go around the horn, and I still don't get that. I still don't get what that means.
It's a baseball term.
Oh, I always thought about like the horn, like from the Vikings, that kind of thing. But that's just me. Anyways, so go ahead, Big Llama. Tell us, give us your wonderful thoughts and the closing arguments here in this court of PTO law.
Well, okay. So one thing I'll say is, first and foremost, we talked a lot, and I just want to clarify, we talked a lot about PTO abusing PTO. So the scenarios are those people who abuse the system. So if you're using it legitimately, you're using it within the rules, good for you. Take advantage of them. Take your time off. That's definitely encouraged. Any good company that has a good program should encourage their employees to use it. So definitely use it. It's the people who abuse it who are making, like a little bit light of today. The one thing that I think you need to do as an HR professional, one is just stay neutral. Stay neutral in the discussions. Mm-hmm. Don't jump to conclusions or make judgments, because you just never know. Something could be legit. So if you treat everyone the same way, you're in a safe zone as an HR professional. Let the managers and supervisors and those guys jump off the rails and make all these kinds of statements, but you keep it to the business and keep it to the policy. The last thing I'll say for the employees, right? For the employees, out there, like, be a little bit smarter, right? Like, be a little bit smarter about how you use these things, right? If the company has a very generous program, use it. But your planned PTO and vacation that's coming up November, right? 2 or 3 months from now, and that it's declined, and you miraculously get sick at the same time. We have a paper trail on that? So like, let's just be honest about what our intentions are. So if they cancel your PTO, right, you can say I gotta take it, and so I'll take it unexcused, or I'll take but at least be upfront about it, because that's the worst part. Is like, you think you got away with it because you called in sick. You don't think we saw the request and it's sitting in an email somewhere? But again, be a good person, be a good human. Use the things as they're designed. Don't ruin it for the rest of us.
All right. Well, I'll go next. But before I give my words of wisdom, I do have to. I looked up the phrase "go around the horn." It actually originates from Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South Africa, which was historically a treacherous route for ships to take due to long winds and rough waters. So go around the horn. Is where that term came from.
See, I was somewhat not really close.
It wasn't baseball related. Shit.
It wasn't baseball related. Good try, buddy.
Yeah. So, but what I will say, instead of repeating what Big Mama said, just to add to it, is Yeah, if you're not going to be honest and you're not going to have integrity and you feel that need to lie or BS, just less details. You know what? I'm not coming into work today. Why? I don't want to discuss it. Don't even say why. Just I'm not coming in today. Personal reasons. Keep it simple, because at least then there's still integrity intact there. You didn't lie, you didn't share details, even though you might be out doing things you shouldn't be doing. At least you didn't tell me you were vomiting and now you're at a Coldplay concert with another woman.
You in this Coldplay concert, you have some dang.
He loves it. He loves it.
Binge on this
I
thing.
might want to be careful because he still does have a lot of money and he still is suing Coldplay, so he might come after me. But those are my words of wisdom.
Gosh, I think the only words of wisdom I can tell you is pretty much just everything y'all just said. But there's a reason why, and I'm not saying that all of these people are great, okay? But there's a reason why whenever you get higher in the chain, you start getting more perks. Is typically what you see. So PTO is higher for the executives, and so then people hate on the executives like, well, they get 4 weeks of PTO. We only get 2. Well, yeah, they worked hard and they got where they're supposed to be, or somebody was dumb and hired them. And so whatever it is, the case is that title came with that. So don't hate on us executives. But I will tell you that do the right thing, no matter who's looking, whether anybody is looking or not. Do the right thing, even when nobody's looking. And so always do good. Try to do good. We're trying to put all this. We talked about how we had all these negative things that these people were doing and ruined it for so many other people. And we have all been on the receiving side of that. You ruined it for everyone kind of call. Like, oh, we used to have Margarita Fridays, but Jill decided to get stripped naked and dance on the tabletops in the break room. Like,
that was Becky. That was fucking Becky.
Sorry, Becky. Sorry, Becky. Didn't mean to call you another name. But now we no longer have Margarita Fridays. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all something that was totally supposed to be fun and meant to be like a cool gathering. Hopefully it's not Margarita Fridays, but you get my point. Something that was such a cool, fun thing for us to have got ruined. And so that's just do the right thing, even when nobody's looking. It's just the best way to live your life. And so, yeah. So that's all I have for today. Jake, can you take us home?
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining the show today. And as always, we say this with much love until we call you into the office again.
Peace out, everybody. Well, that's another episode of the 4 Friends Trying to Figure Out HR. We didn't solve anything, but hey, at least we tried.
And by tried, we mean we laughed, we overshared, and we probably violated some HR guidelines ourselves.
But remember, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take our advice. Seriously, don't.
And if your HR manager asks, you've never heard of us or this podcast.
Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and join us the next time as we keep trying to figure out HR and fail spectacularly.
Now, go be productive, or at least pretend to be.
And tell your boss that I said hi.
Tell your mom I said hello.
Tell your daddy I said hey.
And remember, hate has no home here.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week again for a fresh round.